So welcome, Jonathan. Welcome to the Character in Kiosk live virtual summit. And it's been a wonderful and honor to have you here with us. Yeah, on day 3 of Character in Kiosk. So Jonathan, welcome.
Thank you, CK. You hearing me good?
Yes.
Excellent. Welcome everyone to the afternoon session. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much, CK, for inviting me, for having me as part of the summit experience. I've been following some of the speakers, just as you. Thank you for all the love that you're sharing to me. Thanks, Kaylee. Everyone who is just chatting. We have Monica. I'm seeing on the screen right now. We want to spend the next 1.5 hours just letting you go to an experience. And to all the fathers who are here, happy Father's Day, right? So really excited to have you here. So thank you so much for all the love that you're sharing. I appreciate that. But more importantly, I would like you to be participating, right? Even as you begin to learn, be involved in the whole session so that you can also participate and learn and apply some of the learnings that you will be getting, right? Have you been learning a lot the last couple of days, last 2 days? Have you been learning a lot of great things? Right, so share in the chat box if you have been learning a lot. Press number 1 if you've been learning a lot, okay? So press 1 if you've been learning a lot. So let me see some interactions there. So 1 if you've been learning a lot, okay? So am I going to see some numbers there? Great. So just continue to enhance the knowledge that you'll be learning. So now it's about transformation coaching, right? So how can you also lead and be transformed as you begin to learn new skills and learn new knowledge and learn new insights to help you. Thank you so much. Overloading. Yeah, some of you are overloading with information, and now it's time to even gain clarity. So let me start by sharing the screen on the information that I'll be sharing today. Excellent. Wow, I'm really excited, just to be sharing this on Father's Day. Coaching has been very close to my heart. So it is indeed a transformational opportunity for me to share this. I've known Casey. We are both graduates from the CPT community together with Casey. Casey just spoke. You had a bonus session with Jessica. If you're here earlier, you had Jessica to also be sharing. And congratulations to all of you, right? Congratulations to all of you for choosing to be here, right? You have been here. I saw there was about 100 plus people that was here in the morning session. So congratulations for all of you for coming back because by just being here, you're showing commitment to learn, to gain clarity. And what a fantastic title, Clarity in Chaos Right Now. All of us have gone through different 90 days. If you're in Malaysia, we have the MCO, then we have the RMCO. Now we are in the new phase until August 31st, just going through the entire pandemic, right? The entire pandemic. And for some, they saw it as really challenging. For some, it was a great opportunity, right? So they saw opportunity in everything. So for you, what have you been seeing? Has it been a challenge to you, or has it been an opportunity for you? Even as you learn, even as you grow, even as you navigate through this period. I'm just curious, how many of you here are professional coaches? Just like Casey, I just wanted to get a feel. If you're a professional coaches, can you type in the number 2, right? Or you have experienced coaching before, you are doing coaching, or you're a trainer. Can you press number 2 if you're one of them? Right, so I'm just going to kind of like take a quick look at some of the responses to see who the audience are really today. Right, so if you're a professional coach, just press 2. If you would like to learn more about coaching and how it can apply in your life, press 3. Right, if you're new to coaching and you would like to see how to learn more about coaching, press 3. If you're currently a professional coach, a trainer, press 2. All right, so I'm seeing a lot of 2, a lot of coaches, a lot of trainers. Great, fantastic. Welcome to the summit. So Pretty much. Okay, I do have a couple of trees that I'm seeing too. Yes, many twos. Couple of trees too. So I'm going to kind of like speak to both the audiences in that case, right? I'm going to speak a little bit to both the audience in that case. What I'd like to do is also to share a little bit about my experience the last 16 years since I moved on from my initial career in the hospitality industry. So I started my career in the hotel business, right? I was a hotelier pretty much for 20 plus years. I was in sales and marketing. I was in revenue management. So that's pretty much what I've been doing over the last 20 years. And 16 years ago, I left the hotel industry and started a journey as a professional speaker, trainer, coach. And I'm going to be sharing some of the lessons that I've learned that perhaps you can also pick up one or two nuggets and say, hey, you know, that's something that I would like to apply and use. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Okay, are we good? Are you ready to learn? If you're ready to learn, press 1, right? If you're ready to learn, press 1. I'm excited for you. So I hope you're just excited as me in helping you to learn through the process. Excellent. So with that in mind, I would like to ask this question, right? So as part of a quick introduction, what I've been doing right now is really helping organization over the last 16 years in the area of sales, customer service experience, and leadership, helping them. I do a lot of work with organization in hotels, in FMCG, with the financial institution, banks, and as you can see, some of the partners that are international partners that are here with me. And of course, with the last 90 days, with the pandemic happening, you have noticed a lot of people are going through a lot of emotions, right? A lot of people are going through a lot of emotions. So if you're an entrepreneur right now, if you're an executive coach, if you are a person who is here for the summit, I would like to ask you this question. What do you think employees need from leaders right now? Right, just think about it, right? So what do you think employee needs from leader right now? So if you are an employee, what do you need from your boss right now? If you are the boss of an organization, what do you think your team member needs from you right now? Okay, so you can just very quickly, right, just type in a couple of messages. What do you think people need from leaders right now? And then very shortly, I will share the results with you, and let's see whether there are some similarities, even as you're going through the same experience globally. Not only Malaysia, but globally, okay? So what am I saying? Destination, good governance, right? Thank you so much, Aisha. So one says support, direction, right? Direction, you want to have more directions, you have more support. Yeah, because this is challenging times. This is new for everyone, right? No one has actually gone through it before. Positive guidance, direction, clarity, right? Very in line with the conference, clarity, leadership, goals, clarity, transparency. Excellent. Thank you so much for your comments. Security. Thank you, Nolalia. Direction. So a lot of directions that I'm seeing. So I would like to share with you what are some of the insights. So Gallup did a survey by asking this question: what do people need from leaders right now? And this is the results that came out. So the interview, global organization, different companies, not only in Malaysia, but globally, Fortune 500 companies. And this is what came out, right? There are 4 things that people are looking from leaders. The first one is about trust, right? How can a leader exhibit trust? Because trust is going to be from both sides, right? Trust is going to be from both sides. How can a leader do that? How can they exhibit trust? The second one is about compassion, right? Compassion. What is compassion? Compassion is about care, because everyone is facing insecurity, job security, emotional, they're getting locked up in families. You know, for some it's a great time, for some it's really challenging to be locked up for a long time. And again, what are leaders? What are you doing right now to show more compassion to your team member? They're also looking for stability, right? stability 3 months, 6 months from now, 1 year from now? What kind of stability can you provide for individuals? And more importantly, how is hope being manifested? How are they providing hope? So as I flash out the result to you, are you surprised? Are you surprised with the 4 things? And deep in your heart, would this be something that you also want from your leaders? And if you're a leader right now, are you exhibiting these qualities? Trust, compassion, stability, and hope. So what has all these 4 attributes got to do with clarity in chaos? Because as a leader, as an individual, as a person, your ability to showcase this is going to be really great for the people that you're interacting with, for the people that you're working with. All right, are we good so far? So as a coach, my journey the past 16 years since I left the hotel industry has been pretty amazing. Ups and downs, we go through different challenges, but at the same time, there's a lot of lessons to be learned. And throughout the journey, there's also a framework that I've learned from a dear friend of mine, which is Dr. Edgar Tam. So he uses a model because he works with a lot of professional sports people, champions. He helps develop champions. And I would like to share with you the model, which I found to be really, really practical, useful, and that you can really just use it throughout this whole period, even from now until the next 6 months or even longer. I've been using it for a long time, so it's part of my DNA, but I wanted you to have the opportunity to be aware about that. Is that okay? Great. So let me share with you the framework. So this framework is called the Sports Coaching Model. It's called what? The Sports Coaching Model. It stands for 5 acronyms. It stands for SPORT. And I'm going to walk through with you on how you can use the sports model to really inspire yourself and other people around you. And bearing in mind, thinking of the 4 elements, right? We spoke about trust, we talked about compassion, we spoke about stability and also hope. So we really want to help to see how this framework is going to help you even as you move forward. Yeah, even as you move forward. So let's start with the first one. Now, coaching is really helping others through a process, helping others through a journey. But more importantly, I also find that coaching is very useful for myself as an individual. So you can use it for both sides, either for yourself or to help another person move from point A to point B. All right. So let's go with the first one. So the first one starts with an S, right? Starts with an S. So it is really about what state are you in right now, right? What state are you in right now? So if I were to ask you this question, right? If I want to ask you in terms of your health, in terms of your finances, in terms of your job, in terms of your happiness, whatever state that you want to focus on today, right? Whatever state that you want to focus on today, from a rating of 1 to 10, right? From a rating of 1 to 10, and 10 being the highest, how would you rate yourself at that particular area, right? For example, you may be thinking, so I'm going to kind of like walk through as a group coaching, right? With more than about 120 of you right now. So I'd like you to participate, take a piece of paper, write it down. If there's one thing you like to focus on today, what would that be, right? As part of our journey, it could be to gain clarity, it could be to develop better trust, it could be to develop better relationship. So rate yourself. For example, relationship, I want to build better relationship. So from a rating of 1 to 10, where are you in terms of building relationship right now? Okay, can I see some numbers? Can I see some numbers? Just put into the chat, right? If you want to put one area that you want to focus on, that's great. Put one area. It could be health, maybe 5, 6, 7, wherever it may be. All right. Can you do that right now? So let's have some interaction, right? Let's have some interaction. So that it's going to be two-way communication, although I can't see you, but I can read all your messages and chat. So I'd really like you to do that, right? It could be job finances, it could be finances, it could be career, it could be spending more time with children, right? Thank you so much for just putting in. Gina, thank you so much for just putting in the number. Great, great. I'm seeing some numbers. And you individually, you will know what is that area you want to focus on, all right? And that is the one thing I'd like you to remember during our time, at least for this 1.5 hours that we're together, right? So I'm seeing things like 7, 6, 5, 5, 6, building relationship. You're currently at 9, great. Health, you're already at 10, awesome, right? Health, you're at 7 at health right now. So this is where you are right now, okay? Your current state. So Leo, fantastic. You say that you are on the 10 on business improvement. You are at a very high level. Very good for you. Excellent. Congratulations. Madeline, you had a 6. Career and finance, 10, right? So the current state is where you are. So whatever numbers you are, let's start with that, because that is going to be your starting point today, right? S stands for your current state. Now, P is about possibility. So imagine if you have written a number 5. My next question to you as a coach would be, okay, great. So you have mentioned that you're a 5 right now, or perhaps Monica, right? Monica Chan is here. And if that's okay with you, Monica, I'm just going to use it as an example. So Monica said she's at a 6 for relationship. So my next question will be, what would be the possibility, right? So where would you like to be, Monica? If you're a 6 right now, in 3 months' time, 6 months' time, what number would you like it to be? Is it going to be a 7? Is it going to be an 8 or 9 or perhaps a 10, right? So one of the questions that you want to ask yourself, or the person that you're working with as a coach, where would you like to be, right? What numbers would you like to be, right? Questions on what drives you, what motivates you. So if you're a 5 right now and you tell me, hey, John, I like to be actually moving from a 5 to 8, right? I like to move from a 5 to an 8. I would say, congratulations, great. Let's have a conversation. What is driving you, right? So Monica, thank you so much. You're participating. And great to have you as my person to work with. So Monica says she's, in terms of relationship, she's 6 right now, but she would like to be a 9. Great, right? So my next question to Monica in this instance would be, what drives and motivates you, Monica, to really want to build that relationship, right? To enhance that relationship. Another question that you may want to consider is this. What improvements would you like to see in yourself, right? What can you do? 6 to 9, right? So what is the possibility for yourself? So I'd like you to really, use a piece of paper, jot it down. If you're a 5, where would you like to go? Because I'm going to help you go through this whole process together as you get greater clarity. Because sometimes we're so busy with work that we kind of like get lost. Even during this pandemic time, I've heard a lot of people, I've been attending summits after summits after summits. After a while, it can become chaos instead of clarity. So I would really like you to, really take some time to really use that right now, right? Wherever it is. So 5 to 6, 5 to 9, 5 to 8, whatever the numbers would be. My next question to challenge you would be, okay, if you have chosen a 6 or a 7, an increase of 1 or 2, how do you get that number? All right, so why not one number higher? If you put in an 8, why not 9? If you put in a 9, why not 10? If you're at 10, can you do something even different to even increase? Maybe let's give yourself an additional number, 11, for those who are already at 10. Don't limit yourself with a ceiling, right? So again, ask yourself. I would like to share one story of my journey. And this story is great lessons that I've learned through this story. As I've mentioned earlier, I spent many years in the hotel business. And 16 years ago, I decided at the peak of my career in the hotel line, and I said, there must be something more that I could do. I feel that there's something more that I can contribute, that I would like to add value to the community, to the world. So what I did was to attend and be certified as a certified professional trainer, because I really love helping people to develop themselves to the next stage. At the same time, concurrently, and the trainer program, I took it with KCC, right? The person that was just speaking, and you met Jessica too earlier. So those are my SIFUs, my mentors, my teacher, and Jessica, we were all peers together learning through the process. So that was about 16 years ago. And I felt that, there was something more that I could give back. So that was my possibility. So at that time, when I was in the hotel line, I was probably, about 5, and I thought I could do much more. Although I was happy where I was, I thought I could do much more. And I gave myself, okay, so I want to become a professional trainer, speaker. And in my mind, I want to not only do it in Malaysia, although I live in Kuala Lumpur, my family is here, I've got an amazing family. But I wanted to travel around the world, very in line with the tagline that was given, right, when I first saw it. So let me share that story with you. So along that journey, this was what happened, right? So along that journey, 16 years ago, I attended a session, right, which is about professional trainer, right? So knowing more about that. And one of the tagline is, how would you like to travel around the world, right? Stay at the Ritz-Carlton, impact thousands of people, and still get paid for it. And I thought to myself, okay, that's a pretty cool, good benefit statement. And I think that's something that I could do. Because when I was in the hotel line, a part of my role was also to equip people. I was in sales and marketing, but part of my role, 20, 30%, was taken out to help train other people, other Marriott associates around the world. So that was what was happening. And when I saw that particular tagline, I was like, oh, I was pretty inspired. And very shortly after that, I signed up for the program. Let's see whether you can still recognize this picture. You see some familiar faces there? Anyone that you know? If you're in this community, oh, welcome, Brother Muhammad Rashid Ahmad. Yeah, I just saw him. He's also in the house. So here are some of my classmates, right? Here are some of my classmates. You may be familiar with some of them. If you know some names there, please type in some names. Let's see whether we have some mutual friends, mutual connections that you are aware to. So obviously, you can see that KCC is right in the middle, and we have Madam Poyu. We have different colleagues. Dr. Stephen Kaur is also here. So great, and Jessica, yeah, Jessica is here too, right? So we have gone back 16 years. And what was interesting was, this journey happened in 2006, and I was still working in the hotel line at that time. But within 3 months, although I had about 12 months to complete that program, I told Casey, I really want to make that happen. I believe I can make a contribution. And I was kind of like gung-ho. You heard that word before, you're kind of like gung-ho. Some people call it crazy. I think I'm one of the crazy ones. So I completed all the requirements of the program, and I resigned. I resigned from my work in the hotel line. Something that is really comfortable. I was at the peak of my career, and I resigned. And family member got really concerned, and they say, John, what are you doing? You are doing well, so why resign? And go on a world of entrepreneurship. And at that time, there was pretty chaos, in my family. Everyone was kind of like surprised. So I was going through a lot of personal chaos too. Although I knew deep in my heart, there was something that I could actually make a difference. So I did it, right? I did it. 3 months down the road in February, I resigned from a very comfortable job. It was painful. I was 20 years in the hotel business, and I resigned. And first month, nothing much happened. Second month, nothing much happened. But I was doing a lot of activities, right? I was seeing people. I was networking. I was attending Toastmasters program. but business was slow at that time. And we do had a couple of sessions, right? But not enough to sustain me based on what I was earning before. Now, about 5 to 6 months later, right? 5 to 6 months later, there was this opportunity required by this regional hotel group. And they said they were looking for a trainer. They were looking for a trainer to equip their sales leaders in the hotel line. So I wrote to the vice president, who was based in Shanghai at that point in time. And she wrote to all the general managers in Indonesia at that time. They wrote, I sent my profile, and guess what? I received a call about a week later. And she said, John, you got the job. And I was like, whoa, okay, thank you, great, yeah. So could you tell me more how, I was kind of like, we were asking, challenging myself, right? So how did I make it? I was new, in the training at that time, 16 years ago. And they said, you know what, John, one of the general manager actually knew you. You were colleagues, you were working in Marriott at that time. And he said, based on what he has experienced, you will be the right person. Because at one time, I remember in Surabaya, when he was opening his hotel, I was sent there as a task force to support them. And as a task force to support them, he saw me, it was a Sunday, and he said, John, this is your first time in Surabaya. Why don't you go and see a little bit of the city, right? Go and see a little bit of the city. I said, it's okay, Jim. When I finish working with your team, even though it's Sunday, I want to give my 110% for you first. If I have time, I will check it out, the city later. And it's because of that he remembered that conversation that we had. And he said, if John is selected, he will give his 110%. Because of that, that was my first break into doing my first international program in Indonesia, in Bali. How many of you have been to Bali? I know travel is a challenge right now. How many of you have been to Bali? Do you like Bali? Okay, if you like Bali, give me some love, right? Send some love. If you like Bali, give me some love, right? So I really love Bali. I've always wanted to travel to Bali, but I've never had the opportunity to, right? So if you love traveling to Bali, or you have been to Bali, or there's a place that you like to go in Bali, so send me some love, right? Send me some love. Yep, I'm seeing love coming in. Yep, I've got some. Oh, okay, right. So we've got some friends that loves going to Bali, that loves to travel too. Okay, pretty much. Good. We're aligned. So I was really excited. And that was my first break into international market. And guess what? That opportunity was also paid in USD. And the amount that I managed to gain actually covered me for the 6 months and more when I left the hotel line. So that was my first experience into the power of possibility. When you are at whatever state, when you set a goal, when you set your mind to do it, wonderful opportunity comes into the picture. And throughout the 16 years, this has taken me into different countries. And if I were to ask you, right, if there's one country, if you like to speak or train or to travel to, right, to make a difference, once the pandemic, once the different countries open up, which country would you like to speak or train or be an executive coach in? Is there any? Well, some of you have mentioned you've been to Bali 3 times to attend training. Fantastic, right? So if there's a country, because I was asked this country, so John, now that you're a certified professional trainer, which country would you like to go to, right? So which country would you like to speak and train at? So let me throw that question back to you. Ireland. Oh, you like to be in Ireland. So I've got Aisha, she likes to be in Ireland. Rita says when there's a will, there's a way. Awesome. Any specific countries? You can just very quickly type down what countries would you like to make a difference. China. Wow, China is huge, right? China is huge. Japan. Yeah. Our dear brother CK, Master CK, is doing very well in Japan. Nepal. Francisco. Fantastic. If you ever get to Nepal, please let me know. Send me a note. I would love to do a program in Nepal too. So different countries, right? So when I first started, I just wanted to do at least in these couple of countries in Southeast Asia, right? So besides Malaysia, it's not too far from Malaysia. I could still travel. Time is not too much. And that opportunity for that regional hotel landed me the first gig in Indonesia. And that set me on an international journey. And not long after that, I also had the privilege to serve in a different organization. And one of the organization is the Malaysian Association of Professional Speakers. And you can see at the bottom there, maps, right? So the Malaysian Association of Professional Speakers belong to the global community under the umbrella of the Global Speakers Federation. So once I finished my term as the president in the Malaysian Association of Professional Speakers, I said to the leaders at GSF and say, is there anything I can be of service to all of you? I would like to see how to add value. How can I be a part of it? So not long after that, I was part of the leadership team. I was the secretary. I was the treasurer. Eventually, I got elected. And in the year 2015, 2016, I am so humbled and I'm so privileged to be elected as the president of the Global Speakers Federation. I said, wow, the world of possibility. When you set your mind to it, great things happen. If you were to ask me, after this pandemic, how would life be? Set your goals bigger. I would challenge you to set your goals bigger. Because I never knew I had this privilege to serve such a global organization. And in the year 2015, during my term when I was become a president, it was during the National Speaker Association event in US, Washington, D.C., that I had to do a 5-minute welcoming presidential speech. And that speech was to have been done in front of 1,800 professional speakers. That's the audience. That's the audience that you're seeing there, right? And these are the who and who, you know, the Brian Tracy, the Jack Canfields, you know, all the people that I really admire. And to me, it was like, wow, how can this even happen to me, right? As a Malaysian, as a fellow Asian, and just to have that opportunity to be of service. So, in the midst of chaos, when you have clarity, the possibility is abundant. So start with where you are. What is the current state? And where would you like to be? And I had to do a 5-minute speech, right? I had to do a 5-minute speech. And if you allow me, is it okay if I were to share that 5-minute speech just to you? So this speech was delivered to all the professional speakers. I'm from Malaysia, and they're here to hear the 5 minutes welcoming speech for the president of the Global Speakers Federation. If you like, thank you. I see a lot of thumbs up. If you'd like to see that speech, 5 minutes, I'll be happy to share with you. And I just wanted to encourage you, right? The world of possibility for you. Don't limit yourself. So let's take a look at the 5-minute speech that I did.
Good morning. Bonjour. Guten Tag. Ni hao. Ciao an. And from where I come from the city of Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, we say Selamat pagi. Awesome. Wow. You know, it brings me great pleasure to be standing at this stage at this point in time. And what a more honor to be in Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States. You know, as I look back into the years of how the Global Speaker Federation has evolved, just going back 16, 17 years of history, I'm so humbled by the journey and the vision of many of the past presidents have brought about. The vision of growing the pie, of growing the community, bringing together associations across the world together. I spent many of my years working in the hospitality industry. And in my work in the hospitality industry, you may have also experienced a thing that is called AYS, at your service. It's a concierge opportunity. If you need anything, it's a one-stop button. You press the AYS button and all your answers will be available to you. So I'm privileged to actually bring to the Federation, to the present time, of what AYS can actually bring to our community. Building on the past foundation that was built on communication, collaboration, transparency, and continuity. That is an amazing platform that we have built on over the last few years. And standing in the present day today, what an amazing opportunity that presents. The structure that we have, and that we can say, I'm at your service. You're in great positions to influence, to bring forward an opportunity to really share with the world as we continue to grow. Brazil just came into the Federation. Belgium just came into the Federation. Who will be next? And as I look into the future, in 12 months' time, what are the new countries will be with the Federation? So as we step forward, I am privileged as we build this future together to have with me, surrounded with a team of fantastic leaders. President-elect Nabil Dawes from CAPS, where are you? Vice President from Singapore APSS, Shirley Taylor. Just imagine the possibility that you, from NSA, from our global community, can bring forward. Imagine a possibility. What will be standing in front of us? And will you be the person that will say, I will be at your service to grow your chapter, to help bring more value to NSA, to bring more value to your home association, and to be the ambassador to speak well of the speaking fraternity? Give me a minute. Hello? Yeah, this is Jonathan from the Global Speakers Federation. Okay? So you're interested, well, your country, your home association is interested to join the Federation? Wow. Great. Excellent. We will be at your service. I'm here for you. Let's chat a little bit more later on. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is all about taking action now. As the call came in, I'm ready for action. What about you? Are you ready to influence? Are you ready to tell your partner on your left and right and say, I am at your service? Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
So there you go. So that was the 5-minute speech that I did in Washington, D.C. How do you like it? I hope I did you proud as fellow Asian, as fellow Malaysian. If you liked it, give me some love, give me some encouragement. But that was done for all of you. And if you remember the tagline, imagine the possibility. And even in the framework of the sports coaching, you start with your current state. And what is your possibility? What is your possibility? And you're right. At the end of the speech, I became the AYS guy, at your service. And service is a great platform, whatever you do. Because when you come from a platform of service, it is from gratitude. It is from abundance that you're able to provide for others. So I just want to highly inspire, challenge, just make a recommendation, grow your possibility. With your possibility comes great opportunity for you to make a difference. So I hope you found that really, really useful. All right. So that was part of the community that we have served in, that I had the chance to serve in, and I'm still very active. That has taken me to different places over the last 16 years, right? So just given fantastic opportunity to make that happen. And again, this is our current past president, as you can see, the only Asian that is here. So I look forward, perhaps even for yourself, why not, right? So the question I would challenge you as a coach would be to say, why not? The possibility is there for you, right? The possibility there for you. So great, moving on. I hope you're learning new things and you're getting new ideas on what you can do in terms of possibility. When the pandemic happened, because of my role in the hospitality tourism are one of the, airlines are one of the toughest, most impacted industry. And as part of my give back, it was also to collaborate with some of my friends who are very passionate and to help people, leaders in the hotel hospitality industry. So I started their conference. We kicked off the conference as a hospitality revive, thriving through change together. So sometimes in chaos, there's also opportunity for you to be of service. And I kicked off the session by sharing about trust, how that is important, and enabler of the 3 C's, right? The 3 C's of hospitality revive: compassion, connection, creativity, right? So if you'd like to have more information, that is something that you can do. So instead of just kind of like sitting down, mellowing in self-pity, ask yourself, what can you do to move the needle of possibility? Are we good? Excellent. So let's move forward, right? So once you have done that rating for yourself, where you like to go, the next step is this area called obstacles. It's called what? Obstacles. Now, you may have great plans and say, I want to move from 5 to about 9, which is great. But along the way, does this happen? Do obstacles sometimes happen? So my challenge of 3 questions to you is this. I'd like you to have these 3 questions in your mind right now. So what's stopping you, right? If you're a 5 right now and you'd like to go to a 9 or a 6, so what's stopping you from moving to a 6? What is holding you back from getting to an 8? And more importantly, what are the challenges you're facing, you're experiencing that is holding you back? Does this happen? Sometimes we tell ourselves, yeah, sure, he's John, he's that, she's that. It's good for them, but it's not for me, right? It's not for me. Sometimes we have our own self-limiting beliefs. Anyone familiar with Jack Canfield? If you know Jack, give me some love. If you know Jack Canfield, he is the author of the Success Principle, where to get from where you are to where you want to be. He's also the author of the Chicken Soup for the Soul, right? #1 New York Times bestseller, right? If you know Jack, give me some love. Now, I had the privilege to work with Jack. I attended his program. I met him in Canada when I was at the CAPS convention. And I really struck a chord with Jack because of his humility. He's a global speaker. He's written so many books, but he's so down to earth as a person, full of humility, always looking for the opportunity to help someone else. So I had a chance to meet up with him, attended this program, and I'm also now one of the Success Principle facilitator globally, right? Canfield methodology trainer. And what I learned from the first Success Principle that he shared, it was about this. Take 100% responsibility, right? When challenges come, when obstacle comes, take 100% responsibility. And here's a formula I'd like to share with you. E plus R equals to O. E plus R equals to O. So what do you think is E? Now, if you know what is E, can you jot down on the notes and tell me what is E in your opinion, right? Taking 100% responsibility, what would be E? I remember actually Casey spoke about R. So I'm going to wait for a while and let me see whether anyone comes up with a great name for E. So what do you think is E? Is it emotion? Is it environment? What is E? Right, so welcome to Just Chat there and tell me, what do you feel is E? Engagement, effort. Okay, thank you for putting that down. Okay, empathy. Great effort. Still not there yet. Effort. So let me share it with you. Thank you so much for some of you have been putting in. Now E is about events, right? E is about event, because the events, there are some events that you can control, but there are some events that you can't control, right? So the COVID-19, was it something that you can say, hey, COVID-19, I'm not ready for you yet. Please go away, maybe come back, or never come back at all. Can you do that? Can you say that? No, you can't, right? You can't, right? So you could have the best plan. You know, when I started 2020, this year was supposed to be one of the best year. I had, you know, engagement locked in internationally, supposed to be traveling to Macedonia, to different countries, and just making a difference everywhere globally. But when the event happened, whoa, everything just fell flat. What do you think is R in this case, right? If you want to have the desired outcome that you want, what would be the R factor here? Absolutely. I'm seeing some great answer, right? I'm seeing some great answer. And you're absolutely correct, right? So R is the response. Events will happen to you. Challenges will come into your way. Obstacles will come into your way. But the way you respond will determine your outcome. E plus R equals to O. And with that, I'd like to share with you how I've been using emotional intelligence to help clients, individuals of mine. The World Economic Forum in the year 2020, the top 10 skills that you need for the future of world. Guess what? All right, if you look at the growing needs in the year 2 years' time, number 8 is emotional intelligence. And it was fantastic because Casey also spoke about that. And I think this may even go up much higher, much faster because of what the world is going through right now. Remember, Gallup did a survey with a lot of companies. And what did they find? Trust, compassion, stability, hope. And all these are part of emotional intelligence. The way you interact with your team, the way you interact with your family members, the way you interact with each other are the core opportunity. And here is a framework that I've actually been using. I work with my international partner. So as you can see, emotional intelligence is really huge. So this is the Emotional Intelligence KCG framework by 6 Seconds internationally. So when I first started my journey in 16 years ago, one of the opportunity was to partner with 6 Seconds. They do a lot of work globally on EQ. How many of you are familiar with EQ? If you're familiar with EQ, please press 1, right? If you're familiar with EQ, please press 1. And if you feel that EQ, emotional intelligence, is really important for you right now as a person, as a leader, managing the different emotions, please press 1, right? If you agree that that is the core, press 1. Absolutely. Thank you for your support, right? Thank you for your support. I'm seeing a lot of ones coming up. And you're absolutely correct. So your ability to be part of this experience, not only to help others first, but to manage your own emotions, right? To manage your emotions. So within this KCG model, there are 8 competencies. We won't have time, it takes me 2 days to run through a full emotional intelligence program. But what I'd like to share with you is 2 of the elements, right? Under Know Yourself. Under Know Yourself, there is this thing called Recognize Patterns. And under Choose Yourself, there is this part that is called Navigate Emotion. If you are, as an individual, able to just focus on these 2, not all 8, if you can do all 8, it's great, but just these 2. First of all, recognizing pattern. What are patterns? Patterns are like habits. Patterns are things you do pretty much on autopilot. When COVID-19, when the crisis came, what was your immediate response? Were you like, hey, welcome, COVID-19? Or was it, man, what is happening around the world? Casey shared of the dramatic shift in business that he had to do. He had to navigate. And he had a fantastic team, right? 40 plus of them. They totally turned the business around. A lot of things has moved online. That is recognizing the patterns. So I would like to ask you this question, whether it is the health that you want to work on, whether it is relationship, what patterns are you recognizing at this point in time? What patterns are you recognizing that is holding you back from developing, from moving to a higher number? What are you noticing? Because the key to it is self-awareness. If you're not aware of where you are right now, it's pretty difficult. Even though you had an idea, you want to move to a higher number, 7, 8, 9, or 10, but if you're not even acknowledging. Sometimes I've also seen some of the people that I've worked with, they are aware, but they don't acknowledge. They can't accept, right? So there's two things that needs to happen. First of all, you need to be aware of where you are. And the second one, you need to accept, acknowledge. Because with acceptance, acknowledgement, you're ready to move forward. Because without that, that is still going to be a challenge. Still going to be a challenge. So once you recognize some of these patterns, this is where you have an opportunity to move forward. When March 18, Malaysia had this MCO, I heard the news immediately. We were locked down for about 2 weeks. I told myself, hey, it's a great opportunity. Things happen. Remember, E plus R equals to O. I can't manage the events. Nothing I could do about it, but I can choose my response. So I did leadership coaching, right? So I reached out to many of my clients, offer them, 30 minutes one-on-one coaching on Zoom. Great opportunity to practice the different platform. So I had good conversation because I knew these are the things that leaders needed at that time, right? So recognizing the pattern and just using energy, because I know for myself, if I'm able to contribute, I get more excited. So if I were just to sit down and just wait for things to happen, I get pretty discouraged. I'm not sure about you, but that's me, right? So I wanted to find an avenue, knowing my own patterns. I wanted to do that, right? I wanted to do that because the more I help others, I feel better myself, right? I feel that I'm contributing. I'm someone that is able to make a difference for someone. So recognize your own patterns, right? So be aware of your surrounding, be aware of the reaction, the trigger points. Everyone's been locked down for a long time within family members. How is that working out, right? How is that working out for you? So I'd like you to think about that. Jot down some notes, right? If things comes to you, if you're now able to even be more aware of situation, right? Are we good? Are we good? So are you learning new things? If you are, give me some love. Show me that you are learning some new things, right? So the first thing I'd like to encourage and challenge you would be recognize your own patterns, right? Recognize your own patterns. So start by doing that. Sometimes, when you drive, when you get stuck in a traffic jam, what kind of patterns do you have? What kind of patterns? Do you get frustrated? Do you get, oh man, what is happening? There's so many cars on the road today? Do you get disappointed? Do you get agitated? Different emotions, right? That's recognizing patterns, right? So start with that. Okay. Now, the other thing is called navigating emotions, right? Thank you so much for all the love. I appreciate all your support, and I'm glad that you're learning new things. Huh? The other part is about navigating emotions. Now, navigating emotions is really about knowing my patterns now. How can I do things differently, right? How can I do things differently? I've got one example to share. We were just talking about traffic jam, right? Now, how many of you use Waze? Some people use a Google Map. I use Waze a lot. So I use Waze when I'm driving. Now, for example, if you use Waze or Google Map when you drive, and Waze or Google Map shows you the direction that you're going to, wherever your endpoint is, it's all red color. So what does red color say? What is red color? So red color is all clear or totally not moving? Probably totally not moving, right? So in that situation, what would you usually do? Right? When you see that Waze is showing that it is red color and you're not moving, what is your response? How do you react in that situation? Now, normally, friends of mine will tell me, hey, if I see red, I will want to find a different road to use. I will find a different route. It's heavy traffic. I want to find a different way. Would you do that? I would. Yeah, for sure I would. Or are you the type of person that say, hey, it's all red. Awesome. I can finally relax and listen to my Spotify. I can listen to exciting music, enjoy my aircon, and be stuck here for 2 hours. Would that be you? Probably not, right? So probably not. You would probably be the first version of the first person, right? You will find an alternative road. That is what navigating emotion is. Fantastic. Yeah, some of you mentioned find alternative route, find alternative routes, avoid going to, diverting. That is what navigating emotion is all about. So when you recognize a pattern, you want to ask yourself, how can I do things differently? If I have always been automatically responding when there's a trigger, it upsets me, and I may say words that may hurt people, I may jump to conclusion. How can I hold back, manage different emotions, and respond in a more loving and positive way? Only when you recognize pattern are you able to navigate your emotions. So as everyone is going through this clarity process right now, and I love what Casey mentioned earlier, he talked about clarity compass. As you begin to find more clarity in whatever you do, recognize your patterns and what are some things that needs to be navigated, right? What are some things to be navigated? Some of you are still putting on, you need to examine several different routes, then choose the most relevant one. That is about navigating emotions. Experiment with different things. Find out more about yourself. Be kind to yourself. Self-coach yourself. But in humility, you will need to accept whatever you are seeing. Acceptance is the greatest challenge that I've known. Acknowledgement is the greatest challenge. Because you say, no, that's not for me. It doesn't apply to me. No, it doesn't apply to me. That is where it's very difficult to move to the next step. Obstacles. Okay, good. So if you can just practice these two elements, recognizing patterns and navigating emotion, trust me, if you were to do it religiously within 30, 60, 90 days, I can guarantee you, your life will be transformed even by these two applications. Okay, are we good? So let's take a look. So let me ask you, right, again, what are the patterns you are recognizing about yourself? And more importantly, how can you navigate? As it relates to obstacles, right? So what obstacles, patterns are you recognizing and how can you navigate for a more better options, better outcome, better results, greater clarity, greater success? Okay, good. So with that, remember we started with the success principle, take 100% responsibility. And this is where I like to enhance what Jack has taught me. He mentioned E plus R equals to O. And within response, I'd like you to include recognizing patterns, which is the RP plus NE. So respond is really about you recognizing your patterns and what can you do to navigate those emotions. Because when you are able to do that, your outcome is in your own hand and you are responsible for it. Not other people, not COVID. not crisis, not challenges, but you take 100% responsibility because the ownership is with you. Now, many people sign up for this summit. Some are here. You are here. You took 100% responsibility to be here. Congratulations. Some others didn't. They gave excuses. They couldn't be here. They missed it. They forgot. It's not a calendar. Responses. How are you choosing your options right now? Okay? So I hope this formula is going to be really useful for you. So every time you think about a situation, it is not about the environment. It's not about the event. It is about your response. The RP and NE. For some of my friends who are engineers, I just gave you a formula that you would probably like to play around with. Okay? All good? Hope you're learning new things. If you're learning new things, give me some love, and a thumbs up, right? Combination of love and thumbs up too. Very good, very good. Show me that you are applying, listening, and finding it great value. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing that. Absolutely great, great. Okay. Now, if working with clients too, if you're an organization, this is how we support clients. We also have a dashboard to support, if you have a team that you want to find out, hey, I know my EQ level, but what about my colleague? What about my team? We are able to work with organization like that, right? So we really take a whole holistic perspective of where the team EQ is, right? In this sample, there are 9 people. We have done it for 30, we have done it for 60, we've done it for 100. And we can also look at what are the strengths that they have as a team. What are the talents that they're having? Because the greatest opportunity lies in awareness. When you're aware of your own skills, strength, competency, you're able to build on structure to help move to the next level of performance. All right. So reach out to me if you find this interesting and it is going to be helpful to you, right, at the end of the call. Great. Now, moving on. We'd like to share with you on R. All right. So we started with state. What is the state of where you are? We had possibility, right? We had 3 questions, coaching question to take you through possibility. We had then to move on to obstacles, right? And obstacle is not about events, but it's about how you respond that make a difference for your outcome. Recognizing patterns and navigating emotions. So here is about resources. And I'd like to share with you 3 power questions that you can also use in your coaching process, right? So what resources are available to you? Right. So with that particular challenge that you spoke about, okay, I'm aware of that challenge, obstacle, but what resources is available to you right now? Okay. Who are the people that can help you, right? So what can help you move from now to the next level? And the last one is, the things that is available to you and who are the people that you can learn from, right? Who are the people that you can learn from? Now, over the last 2 days, you have learned from some amazing speakers, right? Full of credibility. They have gone through it, even from this morning, from branding, from grooming, all the way to Casey's session, and later on after my session, there's going to be another session, and of course the greatest teacher of all, right? CK, right? Master CK. He's so humble, and there's so much that we can learn from. So resources, what is available to you, right? And even in some of the special bonuses, that is extended, great resources is available to you. So, and in part of my journey too, there are a couple of things that have helped me because in going through chaos, sometimes there's still a lot of fear in us, right? There's still a lot of fear. And I just wanted to share with you what are some of the resources that is available to you. Heng spoke a little bit about that yesterday. He spoke about concentration, right? And it's part of the mental toughness. So let me share with you my journey. Remember in Washington, D.C. in 2015? Imagine if you have to speak in front of 1,800 people. How fearful is that? How fearful is that? I was totally freaked out. I went to check out the ballroom the night before. I had to speak at about 9:50 in the morning the next day. And as I look at the vastness of the ballroom, it was like OMG moment, right? So it's an OMG moment. But I believe that there was something that was important to be shared. And I did a couple of the processes that I'm going to share with you, right? Would you like to learn some of the processes that is going to be helpful that I went through in my personal journey? Would you like to know? If you'd like to know that, press the thumbs up, and I'll be happy to share some of those experiences that have helped me, right? Some of those experiences that have helped me. So if you like that, put a thumbs up. I'll be happy to share it. The first one, thank you so much for all those thumbs up. I can really see that you're really engaged. Excellent. So let me share with you, even learning from that past experience and how I've been using that process even in the last 5 years, right, in my journey up to now, even during the pandemic. So the first thing is this model that you may have seen, which is what Heng spoke a little bit, right? You can see that concentration was one focus that he did yesterday in terms of performance. I'd like to share with you on composure, right? On composure. Whether you're giving a presentation, I just did a 2 weekend of in-person workshop with a group of sales professionals, helping them to even walk through this element, because mental toughness is really important right now. So one of the things that got me through was this power of visualization, right? As I think back to my journey, when I told myself I wanted to do global work, I want to do training globally, I want to really travel around the world, I had that vision. I had it even in a vision. I created a vision board in my screen. I looked at it all the time. I was thinking of Bali for a long time. And I guess that visualization made it happen. And it was done at the Nusa Dua, one of the prime area in Bali, right? And it was a 5-star resort, a property that had the chance to be there. And again, wow, fantastic. So when it came to Washington, D.C., I had this visualization. So I kind of like closed my eyes. I was visualizing, how it will be, selamat pagi, just greeting people in different languages and just walking through the 5 minutes of presentation, right? So when you have set your mind on that possibility, there's that goal, that picture, the emotion. Some of you are experts in that, right? Some of you are experts in that. Master CK is really one of the experts. So continue to learn from them, right? I'm also learning from him, but fantastic. When you're able to visualize, when you are clear in terms of what is happening in your mind. Now, all the professional world champions, they visualize. Usain Bolt, Michael Phelps, top performers, right? They always visualize how the performance, the process that's going to take them to become world champion. So start with that visualization. Reinforce yourself with some positive words, right? I think, the news is good, but sometimes news is all about bad news. And sometimes overwhelming of bad news get you in a very, very difficult and painful state. So be very careful, what kind of message you're listening to. Too much news is really not good. Even first 2 weeks, it was great. After that, I was overwhelmed. Honestly speaking, I'm still a human. I was overwhelmed, with so much negativity and things that is happening. Even WhatsApp, sometimes it gets overwhelmed because everyone is at home, right? So trigger happy, they're kind of like quick. So if you need to even have some time to be away from the news, fill yourself with, attending great summits that's going to fill your mind with great learning, great lessons. That is what you are going to be able to receive, right? Take a look at some of the words here, right? Happy, expressive, peaceful, successful, gentle, optimistic, empathetic, very powerful words. So what words fill your mind, right? So what kind of words fill your mind? Practice deep breathing, right? So practice deep breathing. CK has a wonderful practice. He calls it the 4-7-8. If you get a chance, do go through it. I'm mindful of the time. I wanted to invite CK to do it, but do practice. Practice deep breathing before you do a speech. When you are stuck in a traffic jam, right? So have this practice deep breathing, right? So if you get a chance, watch the video that CK has done called 4-7-8. Okay. So we won't have time to do that today. But the next thing I wanted to share with you is drink water periodically, right? When you are under stress, especially if you're speaking, if you're a trainer, if you're a coach, your throat gets dry, right? It gets dry. So drink water periodically to liquidate it, right? So again, make sure that happens. And the power of smile, right? It doesn't cost you a thing, but it does you a world of wonders. Right? Smile at people, smile at friends. Especially if you're speaking in a conference, I use that a lot. Greet people early in the morning, get a couple of friends there. Make sure you do that, right? So power of. And of course, attending summits like this, right? Attending summits like this, you really fill your mind with a lot of great content, a lot of great speakers that you can get to learn from. And look at them. Are they smiling? Absolutely, right? So great picture. Thank you, CK, and the team from Mastery Asia, for just doing that. It's amazing. I just looked at the whole group. Everyone is having a fantastic smile. So fantastic. Great. So mental toughness, right? Take a look at how you can maintain your composure. Because it all starts with composure. When you have great composure, it leads you to better concentration. When you have better concentration, it will give you the confidence to do the things that you need to do. When you have clarity in chaos, this process helps you to manage that. Copability, right? Copability. How are you coping with people? E plus R equals to O. It's not about the events. It's about how you respond that creates your outcome. And cohesion, how are you working in a team? No man is an island. No woman is an island. How are you working with one another? All right, fantastic. Learning new things. All right, so I'm going to wrap this up. Another thing that I'd like to share with you is I use social media a lot. And LinkedIn is one of the platforms that I use. I build a lot of great relationships. Just curious, how many of you are using LinkedIn? If you're using LinkedIn, can you press a 2 right now? Press a 2. If you're using LinkedIn to develop relationship, press a 2 right now. All right, so let me just get a gauge of how many people are using LinkedIn right now. I'm just going to wait a while. Or press a 3 if you'd like to spend more time using LinkedIn. Right? Press a 3 if you have not gone into LinkedIn so far, but you'd like to learn more about LinkedIn, press a 3. But if you're already on LinkedIn, press a 2. Now, if you're on LinkedIn already, do connect with me. I love to build relationship. Remember, I'm the AYS person at your service. So do connect with me and we can exchange a lot of great ideas. But one tip that I'd like to share with you, if you have a chance, I spent quite a lot of time repurposing the things that are important that I found really valuable. So take a look at it and see how that can also help you, right? But do connect with me. I would love to hear how this session has been for you. I'd love to connect with you, right? For those who actually press 3, do connect with me. If you're not in LinkedIn, you can just scan the code here or connect with me through the website link. One thing I'd like to share with you is this thing that is called recommendation, right? Recommendation. There are 2 things that can build your credibility as a professional if you want to move to whatever level you are. If you're doing a lot of B2B, every time you speak in a conference, wow, fantastic. Some of you are already adding me on LinkedIn. Appreciate that, Rika. I just saw that coming in. So one of the things is, when you do something great for people, invite them to share a recommendation, right? Invite them to share a recommendation. And again, if this session has been valuable to you, you're welcome to share a word or 2, right? On how the session has benefited you so far, how it's benefited. But the other thing I'd like to share with you is this part called given, right? Given is you giving recommendation to other people. It is something that I'm practicing and I'm playing catch up with it because it adds a lot of power to yourself. When you begin the right thing, see, this is what I've given, right? Dr. Muhammad J. Karim, right? My dear friend from Saudi. So I wrote a testimonial for him. So not only does it help other people build his credibility, but it is absolutely correct. This is really authentic. He is really the cool guy. He's so professional in whatever he does. He gives his best, the best quality and services in whatever he does, right? So the people that I work with, some people that you have worked with, if you can, look for the good in others because that helps you to focus about them, right? It helps you focus about them. And you begin to focus more on the good thing, right? You wouldn't want to put something and say, no, this person is really not good. But when you give a recommendation to people, it is because you have received great experiences and you want to give back and build. Imagine if all 100 plus of you can do that for everyone in the group, but be authentic, right? Be really authentic. Make sure you have got that personal experience. But if you can just start doing that in LinkedIn, trust me, your life will be transformed, right? To move you from where you are to where you possibly can be, right? Oh, you're welcome, Brother Rashid. I'm just being genuine. I'm just being honest. That's who you are. So I appreciate you, right? Cool. So moving on. With all these resources in place, right? The important thing is to really take action. Take action. You could have spent the whole 3 days, writing a lot of notes, taking a lot of great insights, but if you don't do anything with it, you're still at ground zero. You're still at ground zero. So let me share with you 3 power questions on what you can, right? So ask yourself, what will you do next? What would you do next after the session now, right? And what would be your action plan? What will be your action plan? And more importantly, when will you start making this happen? When will you start making this happen? Sometimes I've got friends that I've asked them, I've got participants ask them, so when will you start making this happen? You know what they say? Now we are in June. Okay, it will happen in July the 1st. Is that good? I challenge them further. Which particular year? Sometimes they can say July 1st, but they may forget and say, oh, July, 2021, 1 year later, right? So be very specific. When will you start to make this happen? If July 1st is the time, July 1st, 2020. Be very specific. The more specific you are, the more powerful you will be, all right? So I'm going to give you a bonus. Does anyone know who the picture is of this person here? Anyone familiar? If you're familiar, just type the name. The person that you're seeing here, if you're familiar, just type the name. Who is this person that you're seeing on the screen right now? Let's see how many of you are familiar with this person. Excellent, excellent. Am I seeing some things? If you know him. So in view of time, let me share with you. Now, this is Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, right? Dr. Marshall Goldsmith, he's the world #1 leadership thinker, right? Global guru, world #1 executive coach. If you're a fellow coach, Dr. Marshall is something that you would be familiar with. Now, Dr. Marshall has this daily practice, 6 questions that he asks himself. Can you imagine a world #1 coach coaching himself? And he asked someone, actually, he paid someone to call him every day and ask him these 6 questions. What are the 6 questions? So let me share the questions with you. The question is this, right? Did I do my best to set clear goals? It always starts with, did I do my best? Did I do my best to make progress to my goal achievement? Did I do my best to be happy? Did I do my best to find meaning in whatever I'm doing? Did I do my best to build positive relationship? Did I do my best to be fully engaged? I've learned so much from Dr. Marshall. He's one of the most humble, giving person, and imagine, even for a world-class top coach like him, he even has this 6 daily habit. Now, I'll challenge you, if you like, ask yourself this question every day for the next 30 days, right? Just 30 days, right? Every morning, ask yourself, did I do my best? And what is interesting about this question is accountability is with you, right? It is about you. Did I do my best? It's not about events. It's not about situation. It's not about environment. It's not about other people. Sometimes that happens, right? Oh, because of so-and-so, because of so-and-so, because of so-and-so, this happens. This puts you into ownership. So I'll challenge you. So if you like it, how many of you like this 6 question, 6 daily question? If you like it, give me some love. Give me some love there, right? Let's have some love. If you like this 6 powerful question, I like it so much, and it really helps me every day to remind myself, right? And it's not just about performance goal. It's about life. Life's question is about happiness, it's about finding meaning, about building relationship, right? So I highly encourage you to do that. Last year, I've been privileged also to be voted as one of the Global Gurus Top 30 in the world of hospitality. So they has taken me, since I started my journey 15 years ago, I've been blessed with the power of possibility. Last year I was in Houston. I spoke in US for the first time. And again, me, Asian, speaking all the way in US in a paid event, right? So again, fulfilling, fantastic, thousands of people, you get to make a difference. Met Dr. Marshall in Toronto when we had our Global Guru Summit. So I met him. And again, just learning from him, the daily 6 question, and you get to see him in person. Fantastic. Ron Kaufman, you know, the customer service guru. He lives in Singapore. And again, just having mentors like this that you can learn from, that you can aspire to learn from, and continual learning, right? So amazing group. So these are the global gurus that were in Toronto last year. And I'm just so grateful for the journey that I started. But this will not happen if I did not take action. It will just be, I wish I could have done that. I wish I would have done that, right? So, you know, in 2019, you know, I started an opportunity where Casey and myself, we went to Saudi, you know, to do a certified professional trainers program. And, you know, Karim was one of the participants. He signed up, he was full of energy. And I'm so happy to see his journey development because he took action. He came, he saw, he took action, and he made it a possibility. And, you know, Dr. Abduhai is our partner. We'll probably see Karim up there. And not only that, you know, besides, you know, just being there, you get to see the world, right? Both Casey and myself got to travel to the edge of the world in Riyadh. And, you know, you see some people up there, right at the top there. Yeah, so there's some people up there. And again, fantastic, incredible sight. I would have never thought this was happy if I did not take action, right? So that's me and Casey at the edge of the world. So challenge yourself. Ask yourself, what is your state right now? And after these 16 years, I've had a chance to, you know, speak, train, coach people in 5 continents up to this point, 30 different countries, 78 plus cities. So I'm really grateful for the journey, but it had to start somewhere. It only started when actions are taken. So that's my challenge to you. Even as you listen to the program, you watch the program, it's all great, but nothing happens until you take action. So even as we pivot to, like what Casey said, everything is going online. Even in Global Success Learning, we are having a e-academy right now, online education, very focused on sales, service, and leadership. Last year I did the Global Summit, 5 pillars, sales, service, leadership. All these resources now is available. I will be launching it in the next 1 to 2 weeks. So again, it is about taking action for your progress, taking action for your world of possibility. Here is the book that I've written called Winning Clients Loyalty. I've even converted this to a 2-day online program right now, you know, just to help individuals be effective in giving service, right? And how the power of service through self-mastery, experiences, relationship, value, innovation, culture, empowerment can make a difference. The 7 pillars of service, how it can make a difference for you. So there you go. There you go. Sports coaching model, transformational coaching. Start with your state. What is your possibility? What is holding you back? What are the obstacles? What are the resources available to you? And more importantly, nothing happens until you take action. Nothing happens until you take action. So with that, I've come to the end of my session. Wow, time flies. And I had a wonderful time just sharing with you. If you have enjoyed this session, give me a lot of love, right? Let's show some love. If you have found this really valuable, practical, something that you can take for your next step. And more importantly, reach out to me, right? Reach out to me in LinkedIn. I would love to have a chat with you and see how best I can be of service to you also. So back to you, CK. Back to you, CK.
All right, thank you, Jonathan, for that powerful presentation. I'm sure everyone has learned a lot. Yeah. So maybe we can open the session for some questions. If you have 1 or 2 questions, and I'll read it out to Jonathan for him to answer while waiting for Jeffrey. Jeffrey Slater to get into the platform. All right, so everyone, if you like the session, give me some love, give me some likes, and also if you have a question, if you have any question that you would like to pose to Jonathan, while he's here, still in the platform, yeah, please write down, and then we will get Jonathan to answer your question. All right. So how to start my LinkedIn profile to include what to include inside my LinkedIn profile?
Okay, great question. I believe that was from Henry. So Henry, what you should do is based on whatever you do professionally, see how can you add value. If you look at my profile, do visit my profile. My first paragraph is how I help organization, how I help individual. So not so much about your education, your credibility yet. That comes under paragraph 2, 3. But start with how can you give to people? What is it in for people first? When you are clear, when you have clarity in that area, people have clarity in what you do. So start with that first, and then say how your experience, credibility can also support that in the journey. And then you can have some other past testimonial recommendation, like what I've shown you earlier. But happy to have a chat later on if you need more information. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan. Right. So once again, thank you very much, Jonathan, for that 1.5 hours of knowledge, and also to your experience in the past many years in coaching. Yeah. So do you like the session? Yes or no? If you like the session, give me a 1. Come on, give me a 1. Everyone, give me a 1.
And more importantly, thank you so much to all of you for staying on, and to CK for just having the vision just to make this happen, right? So thank you so much, CK. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
God bless you richly in whatever you do. Thank you so much to the Mastery team. They are behind the scene, but they're working extra time.
Yes.
Jefferson, Karen, many other people that I may not have mentioned the names. You know who you are. Thank you so much for being part of a great community.
Right. Okay. Thank you, Jonathan. So, Jonathan, do you have any parting messages or wisdom? For the people in the class now, 100 of them, 134 of them now. Would you anything before you leave the session?
Just apply, right? Just use sport in everyday coaching. It's pretty simple. You can, spend some 5 minutes with your daughter. Hey, how's work? How's school? What do you enjoy? 1 to 10, where do you see you are? Where would you like to be? What is stopping you from getting there? What's resources? Who can help you? And when would you like to take action? Simple 2, make sure it's done, take action. Your results will be fantastic.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jonathan. Once again, thank you very much. Yeah. I'm sure everyone has benefited a lot from the sharing. We see a lot of ones coming in. Yeah, they enjoyed the session. All right, so I'll catch up with you again, Jonathan. Thank you very much. Yeah,
take
for
care,
your sharing. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, everyone. So there is Jonathan now. Yeah, who